right? This is an extension video to the previous one where we learned about how to launch a screen flow from a record quick action. So again, after completing the video, we will learn about creating a new screen that takes user inputs and also how to launch a flow from quick action and most importantly the significance of a record ID. So let's level up. This is the expected output. As you can see, I'm on the opportunity and when I click on add contact, I would like to launch a screen that takes the inputs from the user and then creates a new contact. So far, we managed to create a screen flow, right? And then we managed to add or launch the screen flow from opportunity record screen. So this is where we are now. So I clicked on add contact and this is showing me the current opportunity that has launched the flow. So let's take this forward and then try to build the complete flow. So this is my flow and right now I have a screen. So what I'm going to do is, since already created a record ID variable which holds the opportunity or the record ID that has launched the flow, I'm going to use this one to extract more information about this opportunity. And then from there I'll just try to find other related fields as well. Let's get into action. So I'll just click this plus sign and of course this will list me all the available elements on the flow that I can use in the flow. So one thing I'm going to use it is get records. So this is going to help me to fetch or get data from the Salesforce database, right? So I'm just going to say get opportunity data of data and I'm going to instruct Salesforce that it needs to go into the opportunity object, right? And this will bring me opportunity records, right? But in my case, I'm interested to get only the opportunity that has launched the flow, isn't it? So I'm going to apply the filter conditions. So I'll just say the ID has to be, it should be equal to the record ID. So in this way, I managed to get only one record, the record that has launched the opportunity, right? So no sorting is needed. Yes, only one record, and this is, important. So when a record is fetched from the database, I would like Salesforce to store all the details automatically. So but before I click done, right, just look at the left side of this manager panel. You can just see one variable, right, called record, correct? So now see what happens when I click on done. So you can see a new variable auto created. So basically a container, a variable is nothing but a container that Salesforce automatically creates you and then puts all the data in it, which I can later use in my flow. So as I go along. So this gets automatically created. So this has opportunity from get opportunity data. That is the name or the API of the element, right? So let's see how we can further use this. To demonstrate that, I'm going to use another element called assignment. So click here and I'll just take this assignment operator or element and I'll just say inputs, just inputs. Okay, so I'm going to create a new variable. So let's click here and then click on new resource. I'm going to say a variable name account underscore ID. So this is of type text and I'll just say done. So this variable, right, will take a value from the opportunity we just retrieved from the database. So in the value, I'll just go and then select that variable opportunity from get opportunity data. So again, this is an auto-generated variable that Salesforce automatically does it for you. Click here. From from here, I can access all the opportunity fields plus the related data as well, which you will see just shortly. So get opportunity data automatically popped up and you can see all the fields of opportunity object, right? So my interest is account. So as you can see, it just shows me the account ID. And from here, I can just go and then access all the fields of the account. So this way, since the data is related, right, opportunity is having lookup relationship with account. So I can access the related data and the related object and all the fields of the related object. So this way, I managed to get the ID of the account that this opportunity is associated to. Isn't it great? So let's click and then further right, find the name of the account. Yeah, I'm going to create a new resource to hold the name of the account. I can think of variable as a container. So I'm going to name this as account name. Yeah, I'll just say it's going to be holding a text. I'll just say done, and I will continue that opportunity from opportunity. Yeah, that is one, and I'll just say account, and then we'll have a name. So now this variable will hold the name of the account. Let's move forward and let's create another one. Let's say let's name this variable. Let's say account city. Yeah, and again this is going to be a text. I'll just say done. So I'll go to opportunity. From opportunity, I'll find the related account. From the related account, I'm going to find the billing city. So this value needs to go into this variable. Let's try to do it for the country and then we'll just move forward. So let's create a new variable. The variable, I'll just say account country, and of course this is going to hold a text. I'll just say done. Right here this, and from here again go to account, and from account find the billing country, have that data stored in this variable. So this way I managed to use variables to store the data. Again, this assignment element is helping me, right, to assign values to variable, right, multiple values, multiple variables in one place, correct. Later I can use it in my flow. So that's the step 2, right. So step 1, we managed to use the record ID and then get the opportunity data. Once that is available, using that as a base, we manage to get the related data as well, the account ID, account's name, account city, account's country, right? Now let's further, right, enhance this screen. Yeah. So this one, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add another placeholder to show the name of the opportunity, another placeholder to show name of the account. So I'll go here and place my cursor right here, click on insert a resource, and we want the opportunity name, right. I can just use that variable that Salesforce created for me. From there I can just pick up the name. I got it. And from here again I just place my cursor right here, click on insert a resource, and remember the variables that we created for later use. So I got the account name. That's it. Let's just make this bold. Okay, now I got the opportunity name, account name displayed on the screen. Let's add other fields as well. So let's bring the name. Just drop this one. Yeah. Let's say email. Just bring it on the page. Let's also add address. All right. When you bring this address, right, it's a compound field, isn't it? So it's got street, city, country, etc. I'm gonna I'm gonna auto populate accounts, city, and country. Very simple to do it. Let's first name this one. Let's say contact underscore address, name of the API. And in the city, when you click, right, you can just map the account city so that when the screen pops up, automatically, right, or automatically the city from account gets populated, right here in this field, right. So the user can change, right, or just leave it as is. So the country value, I'm just again going to pre-populate with the account country. That's it. So this is done. Email, let me give a API name, contact underscore email. Okay, I'm going to just use this placeholder text to say that please enter business email. So you may see this one, it's changing now. Yeah, please enter business email. Just a tip to the user, that's all. So let's say done. There is one error. Looks like I didn't give an API name. Yeah, just say contact underscore name. So again, this is a compound field. It has first name and last name, right? So I'll just say done. So now the screen is ready. The last one is Yeah, I'll just click on this element, and then we'll just go and then see if we can able to use one of the elements that helps me to put some data back into the database. So there is a data element called create records. I'll just click here and then give a name. I'll just say this is create contact. Yeah, and of course I'm going to insert just one record, right? So let it be one and use all values from a record. No, I'll take control and then I'll just choose what value needs to go into the contact record that is being created. So let's choose this use separate resources. And of course I want to create a new contact. So let me just select contact as the object. And right here I can set the field values. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say that the first name of the contact has to come from the screen on the screen. So in the screen we have this contact name. So in that contact name, of course, we have this first name field. Same thing. Let's go. Let's continue that process. Last name. We'll go to the value from the screen component from the contact name. Just take the last name. Right. Let's set the field. So let's say email. And again from the screen, whatever the user enters in the contact name, I'll just put that value. That's it. Again, let's do the same for city. The mailing city of the contact field should take value from the screen component again, since it's a compound field, right? Contact address. So I can just click and then look for the city. Done. So that is also done. Let's do this for country. Mailing country. Click here and let's select the address. Go with the country. So now the country is done. Last but not least, we have to associate this contact to the account, isn't it? So click, and then of course we have account ID field on contact object. The value needs to be the account ID. Remember the assignment element that we used where we just managed to, create variable and then have some data stored for later use. We are using that data right here. Okay, now the association is also done. Let's say done. Okay, last but not least, let's click on plus and then, let's try to show a success message to the user. I'm going to use a screen and just going to, use display text, drag and then drop, and I'll give a API name, success underscore message. Yeah, I'm going to use this editor to say that new contact has been created, right? I'll just increase the font size and I'll just give change the color. Yeah, make it bold. Yeah, that's it, done. Okay, two errors. Okay, I didn't give the name. I'll give a name to the screen. Let's do that. This is success. Let's say done, right? And I don't think this footer is needed, isn't it? So let me just hide. Let me just let's say finish and hide previous and hide pause. Done. Perfect. And right in the screen, I think we have to configure the footer. I don't need a pause button, right? So the previous is not needed. So let's say done. So good. I think we managed to complete the flow. Let's try to test this one. Let me just save this flow as a new version. And let's activate this. All right, fingers crossed. Let's go back to the page. Let's refresh this. And yeah, so let me launch the flow by clicking this button. Yes, I can see this has started working, right? Opportunity ID that has launched the flow is this perfect. Opportunity name is boat limited. That is also perfectly matching. Account name is again boat limited. Perfect. So let's give a name. So let's add John Doe, right? Let's add email at xyz.com And you can see this, right? City and country both have been auto-populated. How did that happen? Because we used assignment logic. We just picked up data from the database and then set the default value for city. So I can leave it as is, or I can just change this and then save it as well, right? So let's click on next and then see what happens. So something went wrong. So let's go back and then check. So if you go right here to the flow, right? So it is a good practice to check the flow before we deploy this. Let's go right here and then cross check. What did we do? So we had this first name, last name, email, city, country, and account. Let's try to debug this and then see what went wrong, right? So click on debug, and I'll go and then get the opportunity ID. So this is the opportunities, record ID, right? Let's see what happens. Click run. So far so good. And on the right, I can see, opportunity name, account name. So how it got populated, right? So now let's try this. The same. Let's go with the same input. And John at xyz.com. And let's have some. Yeah, let's just try to save this and then see what happens. So any record that a flow was ready to create weren't committed to database, something is wrong, right? So required field is missing. Looks like the contact status is not updated. Maybe that's the reason, right? That's the reason system was throwing an error. So let me just go back to the flow, right? So it looks like in my flow, in my contact object, I do have this in my contact object, I do have this status custom field and which is made mandatory. So let's cross check that. So this is the one. Looks like this is required, which I'm not pausing it from the flow. That's the reason, it was throwing an error. Either I can just make it, not required, or I can just, default it to active. Okay, I'm just going to default it to active. Okay. So this is where we are just creating the contact, right? I'll go back here, add a field. So I'll just say contact status, and I'll just have a value called active. Okay. I just say done. I believe now this should work. Let's click save as, save, and let's activate this. Cool. Now let's go back and then directly, run this from, we found the error and then we fixed it. Let's do it from the opportunity page. Add contact. Right, let's go with the new name now. Johnny will. And again, john.abc.com. Just go with this. Go next. Perfect. Now I can see the contact has been created. Let's cross check. Let's cross check. Let's say finish. And let's go here and then search for Johnny. I can see this Johnny will. Perfect, right? It is also right associated with the same account of this opportunity. And if we go to details, let's look at the address. And yes, we can see Troy and US. Isn't it perfect? So this is how we can use a screen flow that is launched from a quick action. And again, right, we used a couple of things, right? We used assignment element, we used get records, we also used create records, right? So in that way we managed to get data and then put the data back into the system.